how do you balance like an executive's needs versus just like the data overload? Because I like when I log into HubSpot and I'm looking at attribution reporting, and if you don't know what you're looking for, if you haven't looked at it before, man, it can really feel like, gosh, I have, first of all, no idea what I'm doing. Second of all, there's so much data there. And in an enterprise organization, you got all those different parts and pieces. Like, do you have any tips on balancing like what the executive may need to see it versus like just data overload?
Sure. Yes. Well, executives reporting is completely different than what operation teams need or different department heads need. And, really you want to segment them into different tiers. And what we do a lot of times using HubSpot is we create different dashboards based on those different segments. And so a lot of times what the executives need or the C-suite needs is, what do they have to report to the board of directors? What information is it that they need to show? And that is the reporting segment that you have there. Versus a manager, they may need to see more reporting on how their team is performing. So for example, a sales manager really needs to understand who are their high performing team members and what activities are they doing to help drive those sales. And so by splitting them up that way, you can then have different views for different levels of all of the different departments, and even whether it be executive, manager, VP, depending on their role, and then still have a single source of truth behind all of them that still is focusing all up to the goals that we talked about earlier. So even though everyone needs to see something different and they need it drilled down based on what they need to report on to be able to be successful at their job and who essentially they have to answer to within the organization as far as being successful with hitting their individual goals, it still makes sense to have the overarching goals of the business goals, essentially. Overarching, what revenue numbers does that company have to hit for the year? That's really going to apply to all of these different tiers, but then it is segmented into how each department in each role rolls up to that to help everyone hit the common goal.